Sever your legs media. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Then it's Leave Say with your legs media, and welcome. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this. So what we are talking about today is Milan Sanremo. It's this weekend. So that's Wednesday, that's a Friday, so Saturday, so like 4 days. No, Sunday, 5 days till the big day. Now I got my pick, my list of who I think is going to win and who I think is the outright favorite, and then I go down. I have my top five, and then I have a bunch of outside picks of guys that who have had some surprising results so far in the early part of the season, and you never know what can happen on the day. So let's get into this and let's see who we got. So some of my standouts are like, okay, Matty Morich, who has won Milan to San Remo. He hasn't done so in the past couple runnings of the Milan to San Remo. Just because I don't know. I mean, it is almost like he got lucky on that run. Like he was able to get away. He had the drop a C post and bam. So Medi Moric. Let's see. Just some details. Milan is Milan to San Remo, the 1 day race from Pavia to San Remo, but it's called Milano to San Remo. Hey, it is what it is. And it's 289 kilometers, and it's the longest classic of the season. So it's a look at the profile and what it looks like. There's a look at the profile and what it looks like. No, that's not my favorite team. That's just some stuff and Lotto. These are that's Belgian, the Lotto, Flash Wallon, and it's Cofidis is the French team. So we got Medi Moric, and outside for the sprint. I don't know if he's going to be able to get over the Poggio if UAE turn it up on the Poggio as planned. If they turn the speed up really, I don't know if Sam Bennett will be able to hold on and get over. But I have Sam Bennett down as an outside sprint possible. I put Nielsen Paulus down for EF. EF really doesn't have anybody that I think can win. I could be wrong, but that's just my what I think. Someone who also Olive Koy for Visma Lisa bike. And you know what's crazy about Visma is there's no Walt Bernard. He's not doing this race, and I thought he would have been there to do this race. And I just got this feeling that Walt is not firing on all cylinders. Yeah, it's like him and Jonas, man. We're gonna talk about those two later, but they just don't seem like whatever. But so yeah, I got Olaf Koy. Outside, because he's just such a legend. He's such a charismatic rider. You probably already know who I'm talking about before you mention his name. It's Alaphilippe, Julian Alaphilippe, and he now rides for Tudor Pro Cycling. So I mean, yeah, turn back the hands of time, but it'll be super fantastic to see him win the classic. Who's had a bunch of wins already this season for Owner X Mobility is Magnus Cort, and the race that he did, which race was it? Can't remember the name of the race, but he got 3 wins in that stage race, and he just basically there weren't any other real big sprinters there to really contest him, but he just walked everybody nonetheless, and the boy took care of the business. Somebody else who I also think is riding for XTS Astana, Alberto Bettiol. I'm not quite sure the shape that he's in, but when he's on, and he can do some amazing things. Someone else that is also comes close all of the time of rise to Jaco Alula is Michael Matthews. And then the other person on the Jaco Alula team is Luke Dombridge. But Michael Matthews, he's just always coming close, and he's always there. So he's somebody you can't count out. So, I mean, if Michael Matthews gets in the fray, something happens, you never know. Someone who had a surprising victory on one of the stage races, who I like. He's young, he's Belgium, and he's up and coming. He rides for the Red Bull Border Hansgrove team, and his name is Maxim Van Gils. X gonna get you, baby. Gonna get you, baby. X Maxim. So you got the X in the middle of Maxim. So you get it. So yeah, if you go to the Instagram, you'll see that when he won the race, and I put that's the theme song I put. X gonna give it to you, and he did. He took care of the business. So those are all the riders I have as outside picks. Those are all my outside picks. I think I got everybody. Let me check. Yeah, I got everybody. Now, I'm going to go with my top five. Pitcock is my fifth pick because this is a little bit out of Pick Pitcock's discipline specialty. He has a kick, but you need a bit more of a kick, like for the Pajot, because once the UAE start going, once Van der Poel and Poggi start Poggi on the Pogacar on the Baggio, Poggi on the Baggio. Once Poggi starts really turning it up, it's got to be a sustained effort, and there aren't too many riders that can actually hang on the wheel of like Poggi and Matthew Van Der Poel once those guys really get it going. A lot of the riders that I mentioned will be able to hang most of the way, but it's just that last, like, half a kilometer. Like, you've been in the red zone for most of the climb. I'm not quite sure how long it is. It's short. It's only a few kilometers long, if that. And like to sustain, once the lactic acid, just starts to take over your legs. That's you really there isn't much left to give. So in that last few kilometers, if you still got that little bit of something, and it always like boils down to like maybe 10 these last few years, 10, 15 riders. There's been as many as 20 riders, but yeah, it gets broke down. It gets broke down, and whoever has the best training to where the body gets rid of the lactic acid the best is the one that's going to be the strongest and going over the fastest. So for like I said, in fifth place I have Tom Paycock, and like I just explained, like why I thought, and then also tied. Biniam is my favorite, but I have to be real about it. But I have Biniam down, like tied in number five spot with Tom Paycock as an outside chance. Now I have no idea what Biniam's been doing. You've seen some of his early season races. He's come close on a couple times to the sprints, particularly where that sprint where he lost out to the is it the Lotto rider or the Uno X rider? But in the sprint where he lost out and he came fifth, and Filippo Ganna sprinted in front of him on what I consider Biniam's specialty, the uphill sprint, and he finished fifth. Just behind under the lead, and yeah, so he hasn't shown me like you usually see signs from Bini early in the season that yeah he's here to take care of business, and he's gonna put down the he's gonna put it down, and he hasn't shown me that. So I've been outside chance of finishing winning Milan to San Remo, and he's my fifth pick, tied with Pickup, and and I even to finish in the top five. I think that would be a successful race for Vinny to finish in top five. So those two, Pickup and Biniam, I can't separate the two. I think the chances are even for the both of them. And then my fourth pick is Philippe Ogana. My fourth top, 4-1, it's Philippe Ogana. Now Felipe has the strength and the power to get over the Baggio, and because it is going to be pretty much like a time trial, and he is that guy on the track. He did pursuit. He started in pursuit on the track, so he knows what it's he his body knows what it's like to go to that to the threshold and beyond, like where the lactic acid really kicks in. He knows how to ride past that. So I sort of have no doubts that Felipe can hang on until the top of the Baggio. It's just a matter of his descending, how he descends, because it's a technical descent, and you got to be on the money. And it's pretty sketchy as well too. So if Filippo gonna get to the top and gets over, he's shown that he can do good out with the big boys. So if he gets a good line and a good run, he can challenge for the win. My number three. So the track team is just loaded. The track team is loaded with riders. So first of all, let me give you who I have down for. It's obviously Jonathan Milan, and then I would also put Mads Peterson sort of above. Like I would just edge out his chances are that much a little bit more than Jonathan Milan, because I'm not quite sure if Jonathan has the staying power to get over the Poggio once all that speed kicks in. But we will see because it's short. You never know, and so we will see. We'll see. I'm not quite sure of Jonathan's background if he came from the track first, but I know Mads, his quality. If you've been watching him on the climbs, especially like in Paris Nice in that last race, he's been climbing. He's been putting. I think Mads, and that's what he was working on. Just that that climbing, that staying power. So I think Mads Peterson is one of those riders that I think would definitely be able to hang on to the top of the Poggio, and if Mads gets over, that means he has a chance in that sprint. So it's just like everyone's tired. The sprint is on a different playing field because the exhaustion is just in another place. So it's just like you just coming off of like a massive effort on the Poggio. Then you got to descend and you still got to pedal down that. So there's not a lot of recovery. So the all-out sprinters really won't have that sprinter's edge. They'll be just I think it will even out a little bit. That Poggio, the ascent and then the descent of the Poggio will even out things. And then we go to, so those are Jonathan Milan and Matt Peterson. But like I said, the whole track team is like you got your Giulio Concuni, who else? Quinn Simmons, Jasper Stuyven. And I think they could put it down just as they'll be able to put it down just as big as UAE. Going over there because they got some quality, they got some hitters in there. Then we go to so that was number 3. So number 2. So my number 2 pick. Well, it's hard to these two could go anyway, but you have Jasper Philipsens from Elberson, but then you also have Matthew Van Der Poel, and basically the combination of Matthew Van Der Poel and Jasper Philipsen was the reason that Jasper won because Van Der Poel was able to get over the top, and I think Jasper just got dislodged, but they was able to make contact when they reached the bottom of the other side of the Poggio after the descent. And once Matthew saw that Jasper was there, he said, "Okay, it doesn't make sense trying to sprint against Jasper because he's obviously the fastest one in the bunch." So he, worked for Jasper and pretty much set it up so that he could win the race. So it'll be a little bit different this year because with UAE going all out just to destroy everybody, if Jasper can't get on or hang on, then it's going to be another story. But we will see. These guys have done a lot of work this preseason, so I don't have any doubt like guys like Jasper Philipsen should be able to hang on going over the Poggio. I think he has a better chance than Jonathan Milan to getting over the Poggio with the cream of the crop, whoever breaks off from the group. And like I said, Van Der Poel, I don't have any doubts that Van Der Poel will get over there. So it's a matter of Van Der Poel getting over and being able to execute in the sprint, and depending on who's left to sprint it out. And then the other, he's just the outright favorite whether he can win it or not because he's not the sprinter. And if you get any of these, if you get like this whole group of riders that I just listed to come to the finish, Pogacar's not winning. Pogacar's not winning that sprint. I mean, that would be some long money to think Pogacar will win against like Jasper, Milan, Mads, even Pitcock, Alaphilippe, Filippo Ganna, any of these guys. Pogacar's not winning that sprint. I will put my money on the others any day in a sprint. Now, but when we're climbing and stuff, obviously we're gonna put it down for Poggy. Poggy's the one. But where it turns to Poggy's favor is he's going to have his whole team. Even if he doesn't say, we know what they're gonna do. They're just going to go balls out, balls out, balls out, balls out from the bottom of the Poggio. And it's going to be the suppressor for us. They're probably going to go, pretty hard on the suppressor, and then they're going to go just as hard or even harder, as hard as they possibly can on the Poggio. I'm just wondering what they're going to do. Are they going to try to go hard on both? On obviously lift the tempo up on the suppressor as well, because the suppressor is a really short climb just before for the Poggio. But like, if you it's not going to be a easy climb over those two climbs. It's going to be a long day. There's one massive climb, and I'm trying to see the length of the Poggio, and anyway, so I can't see it in front of me, so I should have pulled it up. But yeah, so that's my look at who I think is going to take care of business this coming Sunday. It's the 22nd of March in in Italy, and it says from Pavia to Sanremo, but the race is Milan to Sanremo, and there you are. I say with your legs media, my outlook and my picks for who's going to take care of the business this coming Sunday. Remember, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to have a lot more stuff coming. Alrighty, peace out. Thanks for tuning in. Say with your legs media, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel.